This is Ken from Coffee Crafters, and I wanted to go through a troubleshooting video on the most common thing to go wrong with our roaster, and that is dust in the switches. We chose this switch because it was UL tested to 100,000 cycles, so we knew it was a good switch. But one of the things we found over time is that dust, you want to come in here, Bryce, close? Dust will work its way in between the red rocker and the black housing and fill up and eventually break contact. So I wanted to go through a troubleshooting video so that you know how to diagnose it for yourself. So what happens is when you turn this switch on and your roaster's plugged in, you turn the switch on, the light on the switch lights up because it's in the on position. It doesn't mean there's power going through. And that was really confusing for all of us in the beginning because we thought, well, there's power going through the switch, so there must be, or going to the light, so there must be power to the devices. That's not true. So the way to diagnose dust in either one of the switches is if your system power switch is on, but the LED light is off, the loft does not work, and you can't turn the heat on, that means that there's dust in the system power switch. The light will be on, but those things, because this powers all three of those devices. So when you turn on the system power switch, it provides the input power so you can turn the heat on and off. It provides the input power so the loft motor will work, and it provides one of the legs of power so the LED readout works on your temperature controller. If the heat switch fails because of dust in it, what will happen is you'll turn it on. Again, the light will be on, but the heat won't come on. So what you want to do to diagnose that is turn on your system power switch, leave your air off so that you can hear it, and then turn that heat switch on and off. If that heat switch was working, you would hear the contactors down here clicking inside, and it's an audible click. You can even do that sometime if you just want to hear what it sounds like. And so that's an indication that, you know, the heat switch has dust in it and it's not working. So the dust covers that come on these switches, these little plastic covers, they can come off once in a while. So they're a little bit less likely in the new roasters because we made the lid thinner. In the old roaster, it was a full 125 thousandths aluminum, which was the maximum that you could use with this dust cover and this switch. And the problem is that the powder coat would pool around the opening and throw it out of tolerance, and they had a tendency to come off. If they come off, put them back on. So the way that you would do that, I took this one off of this roaster. The way you do that is you have to remove the front of your roaster on the XE. On the 3E, you take the 4 screws out of the top and lift the lid up to access the bottom. But on this one, we only have to take the front panel out. I'm going to reach in there and I can take it out just like that. You don't need to take it all the way out. And we'll put our dust cover back on. And when you put the dust cover on, one of the things you want to make sure to do is to squeeze the side of it, and you can feel that dust cover click into place. And then all you have to do is put your fingers on both sides and snap it back in. If you have the dust covers on, most likely if you have a loss of power, it would be something else, but this happens. Probably 3 out of 4 calls we get are with older machines or machines where the dust covers have fallen off. So they're really easy to fix. So what do you want to do? If you don't have a spare switch to put in, one of the things that you do is, come in here close, Bryce. From the top of the roaster, you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to take the panel off. What we're going to do is turn the breaker off to your roaster or unplug it, and we're going to toggle that switch back and forth while we're blowing air between the red rocker and the black housing, and you will see debris come out of there. I would say, Bryce, probably what, 90% of the time when we tell people to do that, they get their roaster running. So that's how to tell if there is a problem with dust in that switch. So if you're going to look at it yourself, first thing you want to do, even if you have canned air, like canned air with a little straw in it, like you use on a keyboard, even that works. Just putting that down there, rock her back and forth, and then don't forget to put the dust covers back on. Once they get dirty inside, there's no way to clean that switch completely out. And one of the things you might want to do is go ahead and blow it out, get you up and running, and then get some spare switches and dust covers and make sure to put those on so that when that happens, you'll have a solution to the problem and get it up and running.